Hi, everybody. My name is Michael, and I flew in from San Francisco to tell you about the first initial coin offering in the education space. Yeah, our company is LiveEdu, and what we are trying to do is actually pretty simple. We are trying to build the YouTube for online education. We're taking like one category out of YouTube, and we want to build it into like a big category of itself, a big company of itself. So how do we do it, and what is our vision? Our vision is to build the biggest project learning library in the world, and that's what we are trying to build. And on a high level, what is the product about? So the product is like, imagine it as a marketplace where we have like project creators, and we have like viewers. So project creators create like projects, and we have viewers who want to watch those projects, right? So our platform content is available either as live stream or as video. And for the launch, we are covering mainly like 7 topics. We are covering mainly technical topics, but like in 2019, we plan to open up our platform for all topics. So LiveEdu is like a platform that teaches people how to build products. We are not new, we are not starting from scratch. We have been on the market for about 2 years, and we went through Y Combinator. So we have been serving users from 194 countries already, and we have over 5 million viewers. We are targeting the 46 billion online education market, but we don't compete with existing companies because, one, we are focused on future technologies, and second, we are focused on the space that existing online education companies don't actually target at all. Now, how does our ecosystem look like, and which type of people do we engage with? So we have 2 types of people, or 2 types of networks that we are working on. We are working on our internal ecosystem and our external ecosystem. Our internal ecosystem, it consists mainly of project creators, it consists of viewers, it consists of API developers, it consists of site moderators. And for our internal ecosystem, currently our target is to build 10,000 projects. That's what we are focusing on right now. So currently our main focus is building our internal ecosystem. After we have built our internal ecosystem, for which we expect to need like 3 years, we will shift to building our external ecosystem. So our external ecosystem consists of schools, colleges, libraries, and so forth. Now, what you see as education tokens, I'll talk about it. That's like the name of our token. It's called education token. The abbreviation is EDU. I'll explain why we are using the tokens, why we are using the blockchain, and how the token mechanics actually work on our platform. Now, which problem are we solving? Why does EDU exist? What is the justification for it? The justification for it is like there are great platforms like Udemy, there are great platforms like Code Academy, there are great platforms like Lynda. I think you know all of them, right? But they are focused mainly on beginners, right? They are focused mainly on teaching people like beginner topics, like they are very theoretical. And what we are focused on is mainly the area they don't cover. Namely, we are focused on intermediates to experts. And we teach people how to build real products. Right? Our content is not courses, our content are projects, right? They are real applications that people have built and are deploying, right? So the product development, the history behind it, it comes from personal experience. While going through college and doing also my PhD, I never learned anything in college itself. The only thing I learned is by going online, taking projects and practicing with them. This is how my whole career has been. This is how my whole college life has been. So the idea came from that, and we are building, like I said, projects. And if we do a good job in the next 3 or 5 years, we will be the default place on the web for anybody who wants to learn like any practical skills. Now, what are the product features? So we have like live streams. Unlike YouTube, we have really like a live stream, and you can watch the person live. It doesn't matter whether the person is in China, Australia, you can see the person live. You can see his whole screen. You can see every step of the way that he goes through to build a product, right? And you can chat with the person. We have live interactivity. If you mix the live stream, you can also watch a video, right? The reason why we have video is we have a lot of users from China, and because of like time differences, for example, they mix a stream, they want to watch the video. The video is also good for content archiving. So because we plan to package all our content and sell it like as packages to schools, to libraries later. Now, in terms of our team is pretty long-standing. We have extensive experience in education. We have extensive experience in streaming. We have built streaming applications before, and we have been building a whole infrastructure from scratch. A whole streaming cluster, we build ourselves. We have 200 streaming servers. In Asia, we have our streaming servers in Hong Kong, in Singapore. And in Europe, we have it in London. And in the US, we have it in St. Louis. We are not using Amazon because we will be bankrupt the next day if we use Amazon, because streaming is very, very expensive. And because we are trying to build like a global network, we need to kind of like build our own infrastructure. And our whole infrastructure is built from scratch. So it has a lot of flexibility. We can play with it. We can do whatever we want. In terms of our ICO team, we are not doing it alone. We are doing it with people who are experienced in building ERC20 smart contracts. We are doing it with people from Asia who are experienced in actually token sales, who are also experienced in blockchain, right? So you can see a list of our partners over there who are helping us like design our smart contracts, our token mechanics, right? And also the token sales. Now, why blockchain? Why do we need a blockchain? Why does an education company need blockchain? Basically, a lot of people use the word blockchain wrong. So I'll just explain two types of blockchain companies. There are protocol blockchain companies and there are app blockchain companies. Protocol blockchain companies, you can imagine them as the company or the foundation in Switzerland that invented the internet, right? And that internet, there are a lot of companies called app blockchain companies like Facebook, Google, who are building on top of it. Normally what happens is protocol blockchain companies, they are hard to build, they are hard to set up, but they don't make any money. The companies that make money are the app blockchain companies. That means the companies that build on top of the existing protocol. And we are an app blockchain company. So for the launch, we are not building our own protocol. What we are doing is like we are building on Ethereum protocol. So we are using ERC20 token mechanics to solve certain core problems in our product. And one of the core problems in our product is we have a marketplace with supply side and demand side. Since our platform is new and we want to be the YouTube of education, we need to really build projects content fast. And we have two options. We can go to a guy called Matt from Rethink Education and tell him, Matt, give me 100 million. I promise you, you're going to make a lot of money, more money than that. If you give me 100 million, I'm going to take that and I'll give it to project creators, right? And those project creators, they will create projects. Or I can say that I'm going to give those project creators tokens, right? And the token value will rise if they create awesome projects. And this is how we solve the supply side problem that we have. On the demand side, we use our tokens for payments and we use our token for rewards. So how does our tokens allocation look like? So we are selling 50% of our tokens to investors, and 50% of tokens we kind of like split it between team members, between project creators, and also between other ecosystem partners. How we use the funds, you can see it on the right. Now, why should people invest in the LiveEdu ICO? Number one is we use 20% of our annual revenue to buy back tokens from the market. So every year we recycle 20%. Second, we burn 10% of tokens each year to reduce market supply. So each year, the tokens that people spend on our side, by buying subscriptions, we burn 10% of it to reduce token supply, right? So second, we are targeting a $46 billion education market that doesn't compete with existing education market. Linda doesn't cover cryptocurrency. Linda doesn't cover AI. Linda doesn't cover VR. Linda is not going to cover AI because they have no clue about these topics or they are not interested in them. So LiveEdu is focused on future technologies and topics which are not yet covered by any online education company. These are like new fields that no company is covering and which are going to be the dominant topics of the future. This is like what we are trying to do and this is what we are focusing on. So in terms of our sales structure, we have like the typical pre-sale structure. We are giving investors who invest in the pre-sale specific bonus and tiers based on how much they invest and based on based on the payment method they use. So investors can contribute with ETH, BTC, or LTC. And for the pre-sale, we do also cash transactions. We don't prefer that, but if an investor doesn't have LTC, ETH, or BTC, or is not familiar with cryptocurrencies, we do cash transactions. But for the main sale, we don't plan to do cash transactions because of legal reasons. We don't have legal issues like with cash transactions. If we take cash transactions out of it, we solve a lot of legal issues. But for the pre-sale, we do some cash transactions. Yeah, so that's it. That's the first online education ICO that's coming up. We are launching on January 15th. It's the official launch, but we are right now in pre-sale. You can find our site and our white paper and everything on the website tokensale.liveedu.tv. That's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. We're actually going to have you...